Hello and welcome to the third episode of the Talk Show, a show created and run by the Youth of Melbourne for Coptic Talks on YouTube, in conjunction with the Coptic Youth Program on 92.3 FM 3ZZZ. We're thankful to have with us Catalina, discussing her first experiences with the Coptic Church and her path to becoming Orthodox. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
So your story is pretty amazing. You've shared it with us before, but we were hoping today we can speak to you a little bit about it. Do you think you could tell us what was your first touch point with the Orthodox Church and how did it affect you?
Sure. So about 10 years ago, I was quite lost. I was trying to find a faith. I was part of a church that started to show a bit of cracks in their doctrine and things like that. So one day I just kneeled down and prayed and I asked God just to show himself to me and to find a new faith because I was just getting a lot confused. I was really confused. So then one day I just went to uni and I sat next to a guy who had a tattoo on his wrist and I looked at it and oh, are you Catholic? And he said, no, I'm Coptic Orthodox. And I'd never heard Coptic Orthodox, like what is that? And he said, oh, I'm Egyptian. And I'm like, oh, because I thought Egyptians were extinct, like I never met an Egyptian before. And then he started to explain his church and the 2,000-year history it had, and he started explaining how all the priests still dressed in black and have beards, and it was just quite amazing to me. And I just thought, oh, and I was just quite shocked that I never heard of it before. So he was a really big example to me because I started to see a personal relationship that he had with God, and it was quite tangible. And I've never seen that before. Like he'll talk about him, like he did something wrong, he'll feel bad that he hurt God, and like I'd never heard that kind of language from someone before. And then on the weekends, everyone would be going out night clubbing or going doing their thing. He'd be like, oh no, I'm going to church, I'm going to go to youth meeting, we're doing this, we're doing some stuff with the youth. And I just thought, okay, that's different. And then like going even simple things like during Lent, I didn't understand what Lent was, and he would be fasting and for such a long time, and I just thought, man, this is dragging. Like, how long are you going to eat like this? So all these little things, he was just living the church, and he was showing me like through himself. And then so one day he just said, he invited me to St. Mark's Church, and I was a bit against it at first because I thought, what am I going to do there? I'm like Asian, like you got all Egyptians, all in Arabic, like I'm not going to fit in and things like that. But he was just saying, no, like it's the faith, like you got to separate the culture from the faith. So then, yeah, it started from there. So one day he invited me to his niece's baptism, and I walked in and I smelled the incense, and I just felt the Spirit immediately. Like I felt this peace in my heart, and it just affected me. Like I just felt this complete change. Like all my worries went away. All the negative things that I was thinking and perceiving about the church just went away. And I just felt at home to the point where when I drove away, I just started crying because I just felt like I was driving away from home. And so from there, I just started to learn more about the faith.
That's really nice. Was there a particular route you had to take to be more familiar with the things? So did he introduce you to certain people?
Yeah, he got me in contact with Bishop Soriel, who was really just a great help. Like he was quite supportive, and he pointed me into the direction of Father Mark, who was just starting St. Verena's at the time. I think there was like 5 people attending that church at the time. And I had a lot of discussions with Father Mark about mission and where is it within the church? Like how is this so how is it so sacred and so secretive? Like I've never heard of the Coptic Orthodox Church before this, and I started making comparisons with my old faith. And he was like, oh, come to Fiji with me next week, and I'll show you a few things. So we went to Fiji on a mission trip, and I saw the Fijians embracing the faith, and I started to feel that maybe I can embrace the faith like them.
At what stage did you feel you were ready to join the Coptic Church?
It took a bit of time, a lot of research that I had to do. Before I joined the Coptic Church, I was part of another 2 faiths, so this time I wanted to be 100% sure. It took a lot of research, a lot of reading, a lot of guidance from my confession father, and also just finding friends in the church that will teach me as well, because there's only so much a priest can do. So after I made a few really spiritual-minded kind of friends, I started to learn more from them. Started to attend the youth meetings, going to camps, going to the liturgy, and then after that I just felt a little bit more sure. Like I felt I knew enough to get baptized, because it doesn't end there. Obviously, you're just going to keep learning after you get baptized. But then Father Mark approached me and said, yeah, I think you're ready now, like after all that. So as soon as I got baptized by Bishop Soriel at St. Mark's Church on May 17th, 2008, and it was just the day my life began. Like it was just amazing. And I just felt that everything from the past was just washed away and was just a clean slate. And I became a different person from there.
How do you feel now you're in the Coptic church?
I feel really happy and I feel really fulfilled. I just, like for most of my life, I've just been searching for God, like just continuously searching for Him. And now that I finally found Him, it's just been such a journey getting to know Him. When I got baptized, Father Mark said to me, as soon as you get baptized, your life is just going to be hard. Like it's going to be a struggle. Like joining our church, it's not all fun and games. You'll have a struggle, which is the Christian life. And I really feel it, but every struggle I've just changed as a person. I get to know God more, and my spiritual life has just increased. There'll be times where it will just go down, but then it'll just go back up, and it's just so much to learn in the faith. So I just find my life has more purpose, has more meaning, and I feel at home.
Cool. Thank you for sharing your wonderful story with us, Kat. To all the followers of COT, we're working really hard to bring you at least one episode every month. So please subscribe if you haven't, and stay tuned for more interviews, talks, and more. God bless.